Please come in.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Please sit down. Please
Yes, sir.
introduce yourself.
So I'm Subhashree Jena. I completed my education from Mother's Public School from 2009 to 2017, after which I went to pursue BA LLB Honours from National Law University, Lucknow. I graduated with first distinction in the first division with distinction in 2022, and since then I have been preparing for the civil services examination.
From 2022 to 2025, what have you been doing actually?
Yes, sir. So I have been singularly focused on preparing for the civil services examination. And during this period, I have given 2 attempts of UPSC, and this is my first attempt of OPSC.
Optional is law, is it, right?
Yes, sir.
Can you explain to me the law of seas, War and Peace law of seas?
Yes, sir. The law of seas is guided by UN clause, that is United Nations Convention on Law of Seas, which guides how international bodies, that is countries and or organizations, can travel through the open seas which are not part of their national territory. It also defines what it means by a country's national territory, and it also gives certain rights to countries such as hot pursuit and mining rights in their territorial waters. On the other hand, laws of war are the ethics which guide international conflict, and the laws by which countries should guide their conduct during war. It is also known. It also has an aspect of humanitarian law to ensure the destruction that was faced during the 2 world wars would not be repeated, since humanity and our planet cannot afford a similar kind of destruction again.
When was the United Nations formed?
So in 1945, after the end of World War II, the United Nations was formed as a body to ensure that there is world peace, and if there is ever conflicts coming up between nations, it can be solved amicably without the need to resorting to war as much as possible. And in case there is a conflict which gets converted into armed war, other countries would not join the same to prevent it from expanding to the order of world wars.
So what are the primary objectives of the United Nations?
So the primary objective of United Nations is firstly to maintain peace.
International peace and security.
Yes, sir. International peace and security among the nations, and to ensure that there are the countries provide civil and political rights to their citizens, and to ensure that in case there are conflicts, those can be solved amicably. And there were certain bodies and certain principles such as guiding how territory.
Got it. Number 2, second objective of the United Nations.
So second objective is how to is dispute resolution, which it primarily
champion human rights and fundamental freedoms for all.
Yes, sir.
Get it?
Yes, sir.
Number 3.
So ensuring that there is socio-economic rights provided to its citizens.
Fine.
And
disarmament to bring about general and unconventional disarmament. These are the primary objectives. Right. Now, which international organization was the predecessor of the United Nations organization?
So it was the League of Nations.
Yes, created in
1919 following the First World War, headed by President Woodrow Wilson of the US. And they were again the same premise that to prevent any future wars, this community of international.
Got it. How many primary organs are there in the United Nations?
So 6 primary organs.
And what are they? Can you name them?
So they are the UN General Assembly, the UN Security Council, the International Court of Justice, the just a second.
Chronology, General Assembly, Security Council, ECOSOC, Economic and the Social Council,
Yes, sir.
Trusteeship Council,
Yes, sir.
International Court of Justice, and the Secretariat.
Yes, sir.
These are the 6 primary organs. And then there are 16 specialized agencies which operate under the ECOSOC.
Yes.
16 specialized agencies like the International Monetary Fund, the International Bank for Reconstruction and Development, International Labour Organization, International Civil Aviation Organization, International Atomic Energy Agency.
Yes,
Have
sir.
you got it? World Health Organization, all the World Meteorological Organization.
Yes, sir.
There are 16 specialized agencies which operate under the ECOSOC but guided overall by the General Assembly. How many primary organs do the League of Nations have?
Sir, I apologize, I'm unaware of the
Fine,
same.
that's perfectly all right. And then from which European organization did the concept of international organization evolve? As to how, like the League of Nations came up after the First World War. After war, there is peace. The United Nations came up after the Second World War in 1945. War, then peace. But from which European organization did the League of Nations borrow that idea? That is why we say that the United Nations organization is the third experiment at having an international organization.
So, I'm not exactly sure if it's the correct answer, but I believe it's the European Commission. So,
Europe is very good. The Holy Alliance of 1815, after the Napoleonic Wars,
Yes, sir.
after the Napoleonic Wars, they formed the Holy Alliance to avoid a future European war, because then they were thinking that Europe is the world actually.
Yes, sir.
The rest of the world had been colonized by the European continent. And after the Napoleonic Wars, just after war, you have peace, since Napoleon had completely mastered over the European continent, right from Portugal up to Moscow, and he had devastated the European continent. And after Napoleon was defeated in 1815 after the Battle of Waterloo, all other Austria, Prussia, Russia, Great Britain combined together to form this alliance so that France does not raise its head again. Have you got it?
Yes,
but
sir.
they claimed that it was an international organization. Again, idea was to maintain peace throughout the European continent. But the only defect was that it was a Christian European organization to which the Turkish Sultan, Ottoman Emperor, was not invited.
Yes, sir.
But the plus point in this case is that this so-called European organization gave peace to the world for exactly 100 years. The next major war is 1914, the First World War.
First World War.
You get it?
Yes, sir.
Is okay? But the League of Nations was an international organization, but it could not last more than 20 years. Second World War came in 1939.
39.
You
Yes,
get
sir.
it?
Yes, sir.
And why? What is the difference between the League of Nations and again the United Nations organization? The United Nations was a complete what you call an international organization. 50 nations participated in it. But what was the defect of the League of Nations as to why it failed in 1939, had a premature death at the age of 20? Which powers did not participate in the League of Nations?
So,
As to why the Second World War came about?
yes, sir. So primarily it was because of USA backing out of the League of Nations, being the headliner of the league in the first place,
Yes.
and taking away its promised funding as well. Due to this, the other nations were also skeptical of the role of the league, and hence they also backed out, which eventually culminated into
Which nations were not taken in?
Sorry,
USA created, it gave birth to the League of Nations,
Yes, sir.
strangled the League of Nations at its birth. And it was left in the charge of foster mothers like Great Britain and France. Russia was not brought in
No, sir.
because already Lenin's movement, Russian Revolution,
So,
they said that it's diametrically opposite to what capitalism stands for.
yes.
Russia was not brought in. Germany was not brought in. With 3 major nations not participating in this so-called international organization, it did not have a true international character.
Yes, sir.
With the absence of the US, with the absence of the Russians, with the absence of the Germans, the League of Nations was manipulated by Great Britain and France. And that is why it collapsed, and then the Second World War.
Yes, sir.
Okay, right, okay, fine.
So you passed your BLLB honors from Dr. Ram Manohar Lohia National Law University, Lucknow. 2004. Tell me, what are contribution of Dr. Ram Manohar Lohia to the Indian society?
So Dr. Ram Manohar Lohia was a socialist at heart. He was the founder of the Congress Socialist Party in 1936, and he was a critical component of the Quit India movement as well. And his definition of socialism was very different from what represented Russian and Western socialism. For him, socialism was Indian, that is inclusivity for all, equal respect of all, doing away with caste and racial or gender biases. And people's government. For him, government would be fourfold. That is at central level, state level, village level, and district level. And he was also a very great academician who used to pen his thoughts vis-a-vis socialism as well as international relations. And one of his greatest contribution was how he pushed for India-Pakistan Federation, because he believed that despite the two countries being separate, if they were a federation, they would be able to reach heights of development faster. However, the same could not happen, and because of his great contribution to Indian school of socialism, he has been honored through various institutions, one being my law university as well.
Can I say he was an advocate of democratic socialism?
Yes, sir. So Dr. Ram Manohar Lohia, as I said, he believed in inclusivity. Rights should be for all. Every section of the society should participate, whether it be in selecting the government or creating an economic module which should govern the country. That he did not believe in segregating anyone. And according to him, true socialism cannot be achieved if all the people are not brought into its fold. A socialism as an idea is not a singular one, but a sum total of what its different facets manifest through different people. Yes.
Where are you from, madam?
Sir, I'm from Bhubaneswar.
Khurda district.
Yes.
So tell me the cultural significance of your district.
Sir, Khurda has a vibrant history. Firstly, being it has been a capital for the Kalinga Empire from 1528 to 1806, and under Ashoka's rule, it was known as Toshali. And due to its significance, even the British initially had their capital in Khurda before shifting to Cuttack. Also, the Piker Rebellion is one of the most significant markers in colonial Indian history, where it has been considered to be one of the precursor wars that brought about Indian unity against colonial rule in India.
What about Dholi Shanti Stupa?
Yes, sir. Dholi Shanti Stupa is also a marker of how history, how Odisha has been crucial to changing and creating history. Dholi is the symbol that Ashoka had changed his policy from being a warmongering ruler to a peaceful ruler, and showed his shift in administrative styles, that you can achieve greater heights of administration not just through an iron fist but also through a soft heart, which gave an initial idea what a paternal state would be. So therefore, I believe, sir, Khurda has a prominent position when it comes to Odisha's history.
Ekamra Nagari, Bhubaneswar Ekamra Nagari is known as a Shaivite center.
Yes, sir.
All temples are Shaivite temples. There is only one temple which is a Vaishnavite temple. Which is that? All temples in Bhubaneswar, Ishvara is Shiva actually, Shaivite
Yes,
temples, all temples are Shaivite. There is only one temple which is a Vaishnavite temple in Bhubaneswar. Ananga Bhima Deva III's daughter Chandrika Devi constructed that temple actually. Yes, Ananta Vasudev temple. Only one temple in Bhubaneswar that is specialized because it's a Vaishnavite temple.
Yes.
All temples are Shaivite temples, and Bhubaneswar is known as the land of temples. Cultural significance of Bhubaneswar is a Shaivite center, where actually on one side you have Jainism, Khandagiri, represented by Khandagiri and Udayagiri,
Yes.
and on the other side you have the Dholi, that is Buddhism. It's a, what you call, one is juxtaposed against the other, Shaivite center, and it was the center where actually these two religions, heterodox religions, flourished actually. That is the significance of Bhubaneswar. On the one, yes, Khandagiri, Udayagiri on one side, as a riposte to what Ashoka had done for Buddhism. Kharavela, when he was rising, the greatest Kalingan emperor actually, he brought in Jainism, and because it was during his time, Jainism was the state religion of Kalinga, of Odisha.
Yes.
Yeah? And that is the significance of Bhubaneswar actually.
Yes.
Where you find three religions flourished. Actually, and then there are other issues also where actually there was a tremendous clash between Shaivites and Buddhists. Shaivites ultimately won, and this became a Shaiva Kshetra and Ekamra Nagari. That is the issue. So many cultural aspects merge here together.
Yes, sir.
This is a Shaivite center, and then Puri is a Vaishnavite center, and Jajpur is a Shakti
Center.
Yes.
What do you mean by GI tag?
So GI tag is geographical indication. It's a special IPR, a mark provided to specific goods or a process of making a specific group good, which is based on the region in which it is created or which it's from. It marks that place because that place is the specific to which, apart from which that good cannot be created anywhere else. Now that gives it's a niche, and to recognize that, GI tag is being provided.
How do you connect law with economics?
Yes, sir. So I believe economics is based on certain principles, and to ensure that economic principles are followed and there is no misuse of those economic principles to harm the whether it be people, consumers or businesses, there is a necessity for law. This is how when we have laws in place, it ensures that while we have a capitalistic system, it's not completely exploitative of people because people have certain safeguard against it. Law also provides a template for companies and businesses to follow to ensure that they also have certain kinds of safety in case they are met with economic crimes and frauds. So we see law and economics are very intrinsically interrelated, be it banking sector or be it a digital payment revolution. Everywhere law is intermingled with economics, sir.
Alright, this is all from my side.
What do you think? What is your niche as an administrator?
So I believe, being a law student, I have the capacity to understand the ends which is sought out from when policy.
You have the capacity or ability? Make it clear.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So since I'm a law student, I have better ability to understand what sort of end is expected by the legislature when it creates a legislation. And being an administrator, that means I am part of the executive as well. And executive also has certain judicial functions, which makes it a quasi-judicial body. Given my legal background, I believe I would be better able to implement what is expected and to ensure that greatest benefit is met out to all the citizens, while law is the natural justice is followed.
What is the line of difference between proudness and self-confidence?
Yes, sir. So there is a very thin line between pride.
I am asking what is that thin line? Just tell me what is that thin line?
Yes, sir. So self-confidence is when I'm aware of my abilities and I'm not afraid to show my abilities. But pride is whether I have those abilities or not. I think that I have those abilities and I try to rub it in others' face and to show them, see, I am better than you. When there's this feeling of being better than others, it does not remain as
So if I
self-confidence.
feel that and I do not say it to anybody, then definitely it is not pride.
So,
If I feel that, right, but I do not say it to anybody, so is it pride or is it self-confidence?
so it would still manifest as pride because there's something called a subconscious mind which guides how we act. Even though we don't speak verbally, there is something called non-verbal communication. So when we are proud, unnecessarily proud and not self-confident, it also comes out through our actions. So that's how we instead of coming off as self-confident, we end up showing that we are better than others.
The job of an OS officer is primarily a civil job, right?
Yes, sir.
Right? And it's in execution. And definitely it is not you are a law student and this is a professional. You are a professional in your field, right?
Yes, sir.
Can professionalism, or what is your concept of professionalism? Let me first ask you, what do you understand by professionalism? Can I say, Subhashree, you are a professional? Are you a professional? Can I ask that question? Or if I ask, what do you mean? What will you answer me?
So,
Are you a professional?
one clarification. So, do you want me to tell about being professional or professionalism?
No, being professional.
So, being a professional can be understood in two aspects. One would be academically, based on my qualifications, I would be certified as a professional because I have a legal degree. Now, other aspect would be the behavior or the qualitative nature of being professional. That is, how do I conduct myself? How do I act in pressure situations? Or do I have the maturity to understand the emotional quotient of the
Is
group or the
that
people?
professionalism?
So I believe that.
Then what is ethics?
So ethics is being able to distinguish what is right from wrong. And ethics has a big ambit, and ethics is definitely a part of professionalism. Because you cannot be just professional if you're not ethical enough. Being professional, you understand how a situation is and how you need to deal with it. And if you do not have ethics for the same, how will you be professional? You'll just be a person who just sticks to rules and does not understand how to read a room, or has the capacity to have the same wavelength as the people he's dealing with, which is especially needed when you are a bureaucrat.
Subhashree, my question is very specific. That means, what is your concept? What do you mean by ethics?
Sir, I believe
What is ethics?
it's the ability to differentiate from what is right from what is wrong.
And who gives you that standard of right and wrong? Which standard you obey when you go by that ethics?
So there can be two kinds of standard. One is a personal standard which is based on my morality, and one could be a societal form of ethic.
That morality, again, it's non-standard. So are you going to judge something as a standard by another non-standard thing? Is morality standard? It varies in 10-kilometer area.
Yes, sir.
So it is a non-standard thing.
Yes, sir.
If it is a non-standard thing, then how ethics can be standardized?
So ethics is when personal morality at a societal level gets concretized to understand that, okay, these are certain things that we should do or we should not be doing. When that's concretized, we get what is ethics. It's the societal version.
So is it written anywhere, or it is just a unwritten law?
Sir, ethics is unwritten, mostly based on
That
understanding.
is what I was expecting from you, this one single word. Why are you selling so many things?
Yes, sir, I understand.
In an interview, you have very short time to impress someone.
Yes, sir.
That's what you are doing, all this. Be specific. I asked you what is ethics, sir. It is an unwritten code of conduct. That's it.
Yes.
A child is moving, a car came, struck. Should police will there, if I am not going there or not picking up that person, do you think I will be penalized? No, simple. Right? So you cannot call me also immoral, because that is my morality, my standard. I have a job, why should I go there and spend my time? Okay? So coming back to this, tell me something about your area, judicial activism. Give me 2 instances of judicial activism very recently.
So judicial activism is when there is a legal vacuum or a legislative gap, and judiciary goes beyond its demarcated area of function and performs functions of the other organs of state.
Demarcated area means geographical area?
No, sir.
So be specific.
So it's beyond its powers and encroaches upon what's the power or the functions of the other states of organ, such as the legislature. The recent most example would one of the recent most example would be the stray dog case, the first order, wherein the judiciary gave a specific set of orders to remove the stray dogs from the streets of Delhi and to rehabilitate them and not let them come out. So there was a legal vacuum in the animal birth control rules, and that was filled by the judiciary. Another striking example would be, it would be a bit older example, but the most
Tell me,
the Vishakha guidelines, which was provided by the Supreme Court in the 1990s, which formed the basis for the POSH Act in 2013 to ensure workplace security for women.
Tell me, I am a teacher,
Yes, sir.
and a lot of teachers, I feel they're not doing their jobs properly, right? So if I write it as an application to a court of law, right, will it be considered as a PIL? I will apply it, I will write it to a court of law that most of the teachers are not teaching what they are supposed to teach, and they are just making the students mug up, and they are not even doing that. Will it be considered as a PIL?
Sir, it would be considered a PIL only after it's admitted by the Supreme Court under Article 32 or by the High Court under its PIL powers. If it's not accepted, then it will not be considered a PIL.
So, see, that is what I am asking you as an advocate. Will it be accepted or not? You are my advocate, you are going to tell me. If you are not, why should I do that exercise? I am asking you.
So,
Will it be, that is what I am asking you as a legal person. Will it be accepted or will not be?
So, being your advocate, I will put my best arguments forward to ensure to try to make the bench in your favor and accept it as a PIL. However, I cannot guarantee if the bench would actually accept the same. And
So you didn't understand my question. That means I was trying to ask you, what are the characteristics based on which the judges take that decision? That is what I was asking you. You are being swayed a lot. You are not listening. You are going by the flow. Listen. What is not said? In an interview, that is the most important thing. I gave you 2 clues. Still, you are flowing with the flow. I told you are my advocate and tell me. Then you are telling me an advocate statement. Sir, अगर हाई कोर्ट में नहीं होगा तो सुप्रीम कोर्ट में देखेंगे. I asked you actually whether it will qualify as a PIL. So you have to assume yourself as a judge of the High Court and then find it out whether this issue can be addressed. That is what I asked. Okay, I would prefer you listen that. And my last question, one question. I am an astronaut. I am in a spaceship. I transferred a huge fund from my account in India, right, to US to get my wife murdered. Don't raise your eyebrow. I am asking you a question, right? I am in space. I transferred a huge amount from India to a contract killer to kill my wife, and it was found out while I was in the spaceship.
Yes, sir.
Who is going to prosecute me, or can I be prosecuted? By which law?
So you will be prosecuted under both the US and the Indian law. Despite being in space, the action was committed in the US, and since you are an Indian, despite being in law, you are also covered under Indian laws, that is provided under BNS. Therefore, you would be liable under both US laws and Indian laws, and India has the power to request for cooperation from the US to ensure that justice is met out in the entire scenario.
I am in space. Am I bound by Indian law?
Yes, sir. Like I said, in spite of you being in space, you are an Indian, and you will not be staying in space forever. One day you will be coming down, and accordingly, as per your nationality, you would be held under Indian laws as well.
Okay. That's it.
ଆପଣ ଗୋଟେ ଥର ଦେଇଥିଲେ ନା ଅନଲାଇନ୍ ଇଣ୍ଟରଭ୍ୟୁ ବି ଆପିୟର କରିଥିଲେ
Yes, sir.
and your performance was last time good but last time ଅପେକ୍ଷା ଆଜି offline ଆଉ ଇ mock ରେ physical mock ରେ ନା ଆପଣ as compared to the last time ଟିକେ nervous ଅଛନ୍ତି ହେଲା ଅନଲାଇନ୍ ରେ ଟିକେ better performance ଥିଲା ଆଜି ବି ଭଲ performance ଅଛି but comparatively କହିଲି କେତେଟା point mark କରିଦେଇଛି ପଢ଼େଇ most of the things ଆପଣଙ୍କୁ ଜଣା ଅଛି last time ବି କହିଥିଲି same ଜିନିଷ ethics current issues sir ଗୋଟେ ଦିଟା question ଥିଲେ judicial activism and all those then Odisha India ର physiography history culture sir जो question ସବୁ କରିଥିଲେ ठीक अच्छे एति पॉइंट पढ़ दियंतो और यूएन रिलेटेड केतरा पॉइंट जोडा कहि पर नथले ताको देखि देबे डिस्ट्रिक्ट प्रोफाइल तो पढिबे एज यूजुअल हिस्ट्री ज्योग्राफी इकोनॉमिक्स पॉलिटी एंड कल्चर ऑफ योर रीजन आपन रीजन कल्चरल सिग्निफिकेंस ऑफ
Current
द
affairs for the last
Yes.
10 days. Odisha, India, abroad, like they've been asking questions on this Ukraine war that is going on, Gaza war that is going on.
Yes, sir.
And of course, like we said, past 10 days with Odisha record called Heichi. And Odishan history ta ko tike dekhi.
Yes.
Pre-independence Odisha, post-independence Odisha, and locality Bhubaneswar, cultural aspect.
rest is okay all the rest हे जो अपन
Thank you, sir.
Anything you would like to ask us?
I am the last. I believe I am the last candidate
You
today.
forget that part. Would you like to ask the interview? Ask anything.
So yes, sir. I would want.
This is a very important question in an interview. No student gets prepared for this question. Then ଯେମିତି ଅବିକା 30 seconds ପର୍ଯ୍ୟନ୍ତ you are caught off beat, get prepared for this. Prepare some question for the board.
Sir, I have actually prepared a question for the.
So why you waited for? You never asked me, sir, can I ask you something? Did you ask that? I waited. You didn't. Then I asked.
Sir.
Will you ask me? Now you ask me. Do you have any question for the board?
So yes, sir. I have a question. May I proceed with the question? Yes, sir. I believe I am the last candidate for the board today. So compared to the other candidates, how do you believe my performance stood?
This is not a question. This is already done, sir. I told. We have given your feedback. After that, you are asking me the same
So
question.
that was a personal feedback. I'm asking a comparative feedback.
That means you want me to tell you the entire score and your percentile?
No, just in general.
In general, it will be communicated to you. Not right over here. Okay. If you ask that, I am using judicial activism. So I want to cross that line and tell you something. Should I?
So I believe that's in your discretion since you are.
No, I am asking you. I am asking you.
Sir, I'm merely a humble student here to learn.
No, not that. There is nothing like that. Should I? If you permit me, I will tell you that. Listen a bit more. My feeling listening to all this is that you can answer better, much better, if you listen. Actually, my observation is that your listening is comparatively weak comparing to your speaking. Because you have an English medium background, you are able to speak it, fine. And you are from other school. That is one of the best schools in Odisha. That is fine. You are able to express your thoughts, but you are listening less. In English, there is a phrase: listen between the lines or read between the lines. Just remember that when someone is asking you in an interview, see, it is not expected that everybody knows everything. If you will ask me 10 questions, I may not be able to answer all the 10 questions. Here you are not sitting here, you have already been judged, your knowledge have been tested. Here we are viewing you, what is you have inside you, interview. So the question is not important, how you are handling that question, that is important. And that you can handle better only when you listen to the question. You are answering before listening. Okay? Go home, listen to some good English songs with that closing your mouth. Don't speak anything. Keep it right over here. Listen to that. I'm sure you will develop that. And that will add something. See, you already have the crown, but it will be a feather on the crown.
ହେଇଯିବ ଆପଣଙ୍କର ପରଫର୍ମାନ୍ସ ଭଲ ଅଛି ସୋ ବିଂ an advocate I wish କି ମୋ ବ୍ୟାକଗ୍ରାଉଣ୍ଡ
the
ଆସନ୍ତୁ ବହୁତ student।
your desperateness ଟା ଦେଖା ଯାଉଛି, control that, your desperateness is showing up। I have written a question, ପଚାରି ପାରିଲିନି ତତେ, ଏଠି ମୁଁ ଲେଖିକି ରଖିଛି, I because I saw your desperateness, it is right over written, 1 minute, I am reading it out, that is, if you will not if I will not select you this time, how will you react to that? I have written this question because I saw the desperateness in you, right? Don't show it, keep yourself cool, go with the random attitude, nala nahi ethara out of the kya, if you have that attitude na, so you will do it, yes, ja go next